Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my first project, 3D project of my, and I'm going to say this correctly this time, wrapped in plaid sweet week. Yes, I stand corrected. I did actually check it on Google and how to pronounce it, and yes, it's wrapped in plaid. So I'm just going to call it tartan because that is the easiest, and somebody else did mention that, so that's the way I'm sticking with it now. But yes, so today I'm bringing you the beautiful mini pizza boxes that we now have in gold. I mean, how spectacular are they? I just love them. Little jingle bell on the top here. But yeah, quite an easy box to decorate. I actually have a little pack of Haribos in mine. They come in a multi-pack. I'll just grab them off my trolley here. 11 mini bags in the pack I've got, so lots of projects for me now to create around mini bags of Haribos. You could fit 2 in if you wanted to treat someone to 2 mini bags. I'm just sticking with the 1. And they make up exactly the same way as our basic white ones. But I just think they're lovely, and I just think this gold is a real, makes it look more expensive, I think. And as I say, I just decorated the top, and they're really pretty. I love them. You see these holiday rhinestones as well that I've used. I'm addicted to those. I love them. So let me show you how I decorated it, and it is so simple. So obviously, first up, you're going to need your gold mini pizza box, and it comes flat like this. And you just simply need to fold it and make it up. So the first thing I did was just literally fold all of those little lines, fold them up, fold them over, and then you're almost there to doing your box anyway. So you've got what I call a double bit here at the bottom. So the first thing you need to do is fold your sides up and tuck these 2 bits in here, my shoulders as I call them, and then this simply goes up, over and tucks in, and those 2 little pieces on the end just tuck into those 2 little slots there, and that's the base of it made up. Pop your goodies inside, so I'm popping my Haribos inside, and then it's just the same. Fold those shoulders in and fold the back up, which is the one line I didn't fold, and then you just tuck the sides in. It's a little bit fiddly this bit because you need to make sure those shoulders are tucked in nicely. Fold those in, and then this last bit folds in over the top, and that's it. It just folds together like that. Isn't it beautiful and simple? So that's that. So then I need some DSP to go on the top, and so I have the beautiful wrapped in plaid tartan DSP, and this measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, or in centimetres it is about 8 by 8 centimetres. So I'm just going to stick this onto the lid. Oops. And the nice thing as well with this is this beautiful DSP already has gold in it, so it all ties in really nicely. I've then got our fabulous pearlized even, can't get my words out, pearlized doily that I'm actually going to use the white side, not the pearlized side, just because that's how I want it. And that's going to go on there with some Merry Merlot, no it's not, it's cherry cobbler cardstock, 2-inch circle punch for me, just cuts the right size that I want to sit over the centre of my doily. So as you can see, I've not got any of the pattern from the inside, so I'm literally just covering all of that up with my 2-inch circle punch. So I want to adhere this to the box. So I'm going to start off by putting my circle down the opposite way. So that's the way I want it facing on the top of my box. So I'm going to flip that over I want the white side, not the pearlized side. So the white side I'm flipping over now so that it is pearlized face up. I've then got my snail, and just over the area where that punched circle is, I'm just adding adhesive to my doily. I'm then going to peel that off and stick it onto my box, and then I'm adding adhesive onto the back of that circle punch and placing that over the top, and that way I'm getting plenty of adhesive to stop all that falling off. Okay, so once I've done that bit, I then need my trusted pine tree punch and some shaded spruce. My perfectly plaid stamp set, and I'm going with this really cute Christmas tree here, which is this one. Pop that on my rather disgusting blocks actually. I'm a bit ashamed about those, they need a clean, really good clean. So, heat embossing with gold. So I've got my embossing buddy that will get away with any static or greases off my hands that have gone onto that piece of card that will affect it. My Versamark, which I'm then going to get my stamp covered in and stamp it quite close to the bottom because I want to be able to punch it out. And then I need my gold embossing powder. And then I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top, tap the excess off, and then obviously I just need to heat emboss it. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. Heat emboss this tree, which really won't take very long anyway. And if you've not heat embossed before, it's really simple and really effective as well. But if you can see how it's quite dull now, and if you just gently hold the heat tool over the top of it, can you see how you'll suddenly see it change from that dull to that shiny? See how it's now shiny? And that's when you know it's done. And then I always give it a minute, so I'm just going to quickly spray my stamping scrub here and clean my stamp because I just want to give that a minute. I have made the mistake before when I've tried to heat emboss an image and then I've pushed it through my stamp, and because the embossing is still hot and technically still a bit liquidy and a bit wet, it dragged it across the embossing and ruined it. So now I just give it a few seconds just to let that set, and then you can pop it through your punch without any problems, or your die cutting machine. So I'm just going to line that up with my punch. So there's my lovely Christmas tree. And then I'm simply just going to get my snail on the back of that tree and just sit that slightly off the side there. Then I need this beautiful shaded spruce and gold striped ribbon. I've nearly used my roll, honestly, it's just so beautiful. So I'm just going to create my bow, my pretty little bow. So just, as you know you do, having a play with the size of the loops and, well, just everything, don't you, when you make a bow. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm just going to trim those ends up there. Okay. Now, to add my jingle bell to this one, I've actually used some silver metallic thread, which obviously you can't see. So I'm going to grab a jingle bell. I'm going to go with another gold one this time. Add a jingle bell, and then what you need to do is just get a length of your metallic thread. I'm just going to trap the end, otherwise it will just unravel on my desk. And then what I did was I got both of the ends together, fed them through the top of my jingle bell. Come on, that's it. And then I got the loop and just fed that through. Okay, and then I tied a knot because I wanted to make sure it was pretty central to that thread. And unfortunately it is quite fiddly tying bows and things with this thread, but it does work. So that's now nice and tight on there. And then what I just need to do, and this did take me a little while, I'm hoping it won't take me a little while today, is to just tie a little knot in the thread. Oh, you little beauty, look, it didn't take me long at all, that's just perfect. So just tied a little knot just there. So I could have done with it being a little bit closer, but I'm not too fussed. So I'm just going to cut that excess away there. And then I'm going to get some tear and tape. And I just want a small amount, maybe a centimetre or so. And I'm going to pop one end of it on my ribbon. Okay, so you can see how I've still got half of it on my finger. It does become a little bit fiddly this, but what you need to do is then take your backing off and pop your jingle bell on the tear and tape. Let me zoom in actually, and then you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing. And then wait for it to focus. Come on, let's focus please. There we go. Oh no, it's in and out, in and out. Let me just come out a little tiny bit. It might just pick up. There we go. So I've dropped the thread over the tear and tape. I'm then going to fold this back over so it's all stuck onto the tape. And then with that bit that's stuck on my finger, sorry, I was getting carried away then, I'm folding it back over onto itself. So what you've done in effect is sandwiched that thread. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. You've sandwiched that metallic thread in the tear and tape. Let me zoom back out, and it might just work better if I bring it up to the camera because it clearly doesn't like me zooming in. There we go. So yes, in effect, I've sandwiched my thread in a fold of tear and tape. And so now, as you can see, it just sits there. So I'm going to stick this one on the top of my box just here. Give that a little press just to make sure that tear and tape's sticking. But yeah, as you can see now, look, my jingle bell is just sitting. It looks like it's attached to the ribbon, but it actually isn't. Can you see? You can't even see that thread. How fabulous is that? Now, I don't like this whole what's going on here, look, I'm curling upwards to the sky, because it just looks silly. Just get your scissors and very gently curl it. And it will then lie a little flatter. Okay, so I should have done with my bow being a bit bigger actually, but never mind. So there's that bit done. The next part is my little sentiment. So I'm back in with Perfectly Plaid and my ho 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 sentiment. And again, if you can see on my stamp, it's only this one ho that's stained, and that's because I went in with my shaded spruce and I just inked up the first ho, and I lined the bottom of the stamp up with the bottom of my cardstock, my bit of Whisper White. Give that a clean, give it a stamp to make sure that it's not still got any cherry cobbler on it. Then I'm just going to ink up that first hoe again, line the bottom up, check the gaps, between the two, and I'm happy with those. Clean my stamp, give it a fresh stamp off just to make sure. Back in with my shaded spruce, and again checking out the distance, lining that bottom piece up, and there is my ho 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 in alternate colours. And then I'm very naughty, I'm afraid. I do freestyle. I just chopped the length off that I wanted. You can do this with a trimmer or whatever you want to use. I'm a bit naughty and I do just tend to use my scissors for little things like this because I get frustrated trying to use it in a trimmer or a paper cutter. And then I've got mini dimensionals just on the back. And then the last thing to do once I've adhered this is to add some of my favourite holiday rhinestones. So I'll pop that on there. And I have got another pack, but I only want to use these two colours anyway on this one. And just like this one, I'm just going to add some red and yellow rhinestones onto my tree and onto that die cut circle. And that is my mini pizza box. You could use as a stocking filler or an advent treat really as well. But aren't they pretty? Look, all shiny and shimmery and jingly, perfect for Christmas. Hope you like them, hope it's inspired you. They do come in packs of 8, so they are a fabulous amount to get using. I hope you like it. See you all again soon.